This portrait shows the agony of Prince Sinhal in great pain. Investigative work suggests that the issue is connected to his earlier persecution, which occurred approximately 2,800 years ago by his brother, King Munz. Look at how his life had evolved to get him here. The previous sequels, 4VRE and 5VRE, depict the story of King Munz, who, driven by a fear of losing his reign, resorted to cunning and atrocity against his younger brother, and his two young nephews made his life comfortable. In reality, the rightful heir, Prince Sinhal, became a victim of King Munz's schemes, ultimately crowned by default. Nonetheless, Prince Sinhal was restless about his destiny and his family's welfare. After committing a horrifying act, King Munz refrained from causing further harm to Sinhal and his family, who proved powerless against the king. A decade later, Prince Sinhal was blessed with another gorgeous son. King Munz harbored no grudges against his son and occasionally felt guilty for his past actions. As time passed, all the children grew into potential capable rulers. King Munz recognized Sinhal's son as the most suitable successor, crowning him as the king. This decision marked the end of enmity within the royal family. The new king, guided by his father Sinhal, ruled the dynasty adeptly, focusing on public welfare, preserving heritage, and respecting elders, thus keeping his reign intact. Prince Sinhal and his successors had their kingdoms within a portion of the Indian territory. The writer posits that Sri Lanka was once part of India, separated around 464 BCE due to changes in the earth's crust. It became a new nation that was named Sri Lanka in recent times. It is crucial to note that the present Lanka is certainly not the old Lanka of Ravana, as many have depicted. Undoubtedly, the old Lanka was an island in the Lavana Ocean, far away from the earth. Accessing it was not easy, except through a sky path controlled by the Vidyadhari people. The size of Ravana's Lanka was much larger than that of the present one. However, there is a prevailing speculation that the boundary of Sri Lanka, surrounded by an ocean similar to Lanka, leads to the erroneous proposition that instead of dwelling on old beliefs, the writer suggests exploring the new world order. The birth of the new Lanka occurred as Sri Lanka after a change in the earth's crust, resulting in the separation of a small part of the Indian zone. Consequently, the Sinhal community diverged into two groups, one in India and the other in Sri Lanka. Both groups have a brotherly relationship. As mentioned, a small part of India shattered to form Sri Lanka as a new nation, a natural phenomenon occurring long ago as part of a cyclic change. Interestingly, the breakup occurred at the southern tip of India, and remarkably, the separated part can be well fitted to its original place, making sense and supporting the intended views. The Sinhalese in Sri Lanka have diligently established their heritage while preserving their resources. A thematic view of their natural ancestry can be observed in the provided photo. The name Sri Lanka was officially coined relatively recently in 1972. The history of Sri Lanka reveals that the name of this small nation has undergone many phases. The current name Sri Lanka is considered more appropriate than its previous name, Ceylon. Even before that, there was a continuous adaptation of a chain of names due to political changes and religious compulsion. Consequently, numerous contrasting theories emerged, making it challenging to unveil the reality. This opposing delusion will persist until a fundamental answer about the formation of the universe is established. Question of who is behind it and the functional rules governing it remains unanswered. Current concepts are often based on self-created stories for children, lacking practical foundations. However, one realistic answer has emerged, indicating the enforcement of specific ideologies for the past 2000 years. This has been carried out by a handful of individuals to achieve their designed aims. As time evolves, we must adapt to change. This is a time for the creation of new narratives, and we cannot sing the old songs forever unless they are coupled with practical truth. This way, the nation developed by the Sinhalese group of royal people has been shadowed and lost its warmth. Despite a chain of changes that occurred in Sri Lanka, rulers continued to make efforts to align with the pace of the new world order. Although weak in technology, that gap was filled through the conservation and creation of its heritage as an enticing projection to tourists. The following picture demonstrates a view of the tourists enjoying a spot. The writer endorses an intriguing tale after much contemplation on the historical changes in space science under the mandatory natural laws of systems. It is speculated that before 464 BCE, our Earth had no continents as we have today. The Earth stood as one solid mass surrounded by oceans, mountains, rivers, etc. Interestingly, all subcontinents can be easily fitted into one another. Therefore, our infringement seems to have some truth. Before BCE, kings mobilized their reigns based on past methodologies. However, there was a sea change after BC or in the early 2000 years, with changes taking place based on the principle might is right. Presently, the public is more aware and desires a new world order for lifestyle stability. Contemplating the overall views, it can be anticipated that a need arises to transform its national name. New name should be more appropriately proportioned than the existing Sri Lanka, providing detailed realities and powers. The following reflections present a case for renaming. 1. The existence of Sinhalese in both Sri Lanka and India, belonging to the same community, establishes a brotherly relationship. India and Sri Lanka are required to support each other at any odds. 2. In the emblem, a lion symbol imported from India around 484 BC signifies a time before the change in the earth's crest, during the period of Tirthankar Mahavir Swami, whose symbol was the lion on his foot's thumb. 3. The description of the curly hair of the lion resembles the curly hair of Tirthankar. 4. Tirthankar Bhagwan recognizes 8 main types of karma, which are stairs to reach moksha. The emblem chakra signifies 8 petals. 5. The sword in the lion's hand ensures your safety and protection round the clock. It also indicates how firm you are in spirit and spiritual power to achieve the goal. 6. A band of 2 types of colors, green and orange, signifies additional powers of natural harmonic energy and spiritual dynamism, endorsed by India as well. 7. An important case is to note what Buddha's religion was before he developed his own. Buddha was a philosopher based on thought process, whereas Tirthankar Mahavir Swami attained knowledge of endless ends. There's no comparison between them. Interested viewers can find details in the videos 18 VR, E or H. 8. The theory of Buddhism came into force during 2000 to 2200 CE, whereas Shramana, Jainism, lies all over the karmic world, indicating it has no beginning. 9. Some people, for self-interests, have created confusion among people based on the might is right. The learned public can understand the factuality by analyzing the real efficacy. The name of the country Sri Lanka, before the shift from Ceylon, went through many different phases according to rulers of the times. The newly coined name Sri Lanka in 1972 is worth considering, as it incorporates many notions. Despite some criticisms, this new name also causes a misconception in understanding the Lanka of Ravana, to which it has no affinity. It would be ridiculous to think so. Truthfully, our thought is so limited that it cannot be expanded beyond the earth. Hence, we do not know what is beyond our earth and the system therein. And so, any event beyond the earth, if it had occurred, will be considered within it. By chance, if a bit of similarity is found, it would give enough space to precipitate the issue as subjected to now. In reality, Ravana's Lanka is another abode of the Vidyadhari community, possessing various powers over us, as detailed in other videos. Firstly, they have a self-flying capacity or are born with planes. Secondly, there exists an exceptionally costly gold temple. Thirdly, the inhabitants of Ravana Lanka are strikingly beautiful with fair-colored skin. Fourthly, they employ advanced technology to safeguard Lanka, preventing any missile penetration. In contrast, Sri Lanka lacks any such characteristics. This implies that Sri Lanka certainly does not align with Ravana's Lanka. I would suggest proposing a more appropriate name that addresses historical kings and has a bigger overall impact. Furthermore, it makes greater sense astrologically as well as from all other perspectives. The name Sinhal Dweep is noteworthy.